Yeah. So in my life right now, I recently made a pretty big advertising budget mistake, and I realized that we weren't collecting on our initial ad spend until way longer than I thought. And so I set a new record for the lowest amount of money in my bank account since 2019. Yeah, that was like a week ago, and but we will be making payroll this month, so we live on. So that's one thing that's going on. So there was kind of a fun couple months realizing what was happening, and then we need to hit the red button and stop advertising right now. So that was fun, and that kind of prompted some discussions of well, what can we do to it prompted a discussion that is all the people that I work with have been telling me to do, which is you need to figure out like a mid-ticket or a high-ticket offer. Because prior to basically what I do now is I have my app, I have my members area, I also have yoga equipment. So, but I don't have anything above that. I've done some retreats, and I do have a retreat happening, and that's a high ticket offer, and that went really well. We have one coming up in November of this year, and we'll do hopefully 2 per year. But other than that, I have very, very low ticket offers that lead to my main offer. So we've got books, we've got DVDs, we've got, and that's typically how people find me. There's small lead gen tools like that. But then once you get in, you buy a membership and you buy the mat. That's kind of it. So, I have a very low lifetime value, and it's very hard for us to scale because we can't make the money back quick enough. So that's kind of where I'm at my business right now. Thought a lot about how we can fix that. Got some potential ideas, but I'd love to explore it with you if that sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you've got an app, you've got a members area, you sell yoga equipment, you have books, DVDs, and you've sold a higher ticket retreat. Okay. How many people how many people have been through your program?
Okay. So if we add up everybody across like all the books that I've sold, all the DVDs, all the people in the app, we're somewhere around 100. That would be somewhere between 160,000 and 170,000 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that gives me some background. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many of those are currently active?
Currently active, probably in the, I'd say 7,000 to 9,000 range.
Okay. How long is your average client with you?
Based on data, 3 years, but it could be 2 to 3 years, and it could be as much as 3.5 years.
Okay. All right. And I hear you on the ad mistakes. I did a $30K Facebook ad mistake about 18 months ago.
Isn't that fun? And then you just like look at your bank account and you're like, oh,
it's gone.
It's gone.
Yes. So, okay. Yeah. So tell me what you're thinking. How can I help? Like what do you?
So my quandary is I've always resisted putting my time into a product. I really like I really like creating programs. I like creating workouts. But I just haven't felt really fulfilled or like I'm getting my value when I do one-on-one things. I feel like I charge not enough and there's not enough people that sign up for it. And then, I'm left like, okay, well, I put this program together. We got like 20 people through it, but now it's losing steam. And I feel like I have to make an effort to do it. And even when I do get people to sign up for it, I'm like, this doesn't feel worth my time. I don't feel like I'm providing people. I feel like we have different expectations. Some people go into it thinking, some people go into it thinking, oh, Dean's going to give me like a 2-month plan. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And some people go into it like, oh, Dean's going to give me a 2-month plan and email me every day to make sure I'm doing it. And so I think there's some, lack of alignment in that. And then, and then just based on what I've talked about with other people, I'm at this point now where it doesn't make sense for me to do one-on-one with the way that our business is set up. It doesn't make sense for me to do one-on-one. So now I'm leaning toward like, well, okay, how do I figure out a group program of some sort that can leverage what I already have, the knowledge that I already have, but still provide a ton of value to people who are interested in that, that extra coaching, that extra guidance.
So what is your coaching? Is it all yoga? Is it anything around yoga? Is it lifestyle? Is it nutrition? Is it strictly physical? Like, what do you actually do?
So like I focus on yoga, but I'm completely comfortable and knowledgeable about other topics: nutrition, lifestyle, stress management, things like and then like integrating weight training into your yoga, which is the most common, and that's what I recommend people. One big topic that we've been exploring is longevity. So, what are the expectations as you get older? How do you modify your workouts? What should you be doing differently than your 40-year-old self was doing?
Okay.
But not just yoga.
Would you be excited to do one-on-one if you were paid $5,000 an hour?
Sure.
Okay. Because one thing I noticed is as my business grew, my interest and excitement, had a price range with it, right? There was a price tag to it. Now there were people, I enjoyed the coaching work, but when I was taking clients less than my hourly rate, it wasn't fulfilling for me because it really wasn't a valid exchange. It wasn't a valid energy exchange. And in this world we live in, one of the mediums on one side is money, right? So I can understand that, and if we look at membership models in general, while I'm not the expert, I've dabbled in them and other things, but when you get people into group programs, one-on-one is definitely a place people want to go. And then there's you delivering it or people on your team delivering it. Then there's also the community aspect, right? And then there's like the general community, then there's the elite community. So you probably have people in your who've been through your program that want more of you. They probably do. If they've been an active member for years, they like you. Whether they do all the workouts, they like you, they follow you. And of those 160,000 people, I guarantee there's a percentage who would like to be around you or closer to you. So you could do like an elite client group. You could do, this elite client group is $1,000 a month. I got room for 20 people. And we do a call a week. And then every quarter we do it in person here or something like that. Right. So there's really what you want to do. And then there's also who are you serving? Like the avatar, because your current products are designed for one avatar. Who want like the self-guided yoga books, they've talked to the videos, but there's another avatar there too. So what my suggestion is, which is more mentoring than coaching, is like figure out who your other avatars are. Because it's very easy to sit here and start to think of what programs to create. But if we don't know what our audience wants, we're guessing.
So when you say avatar, are you talking about like a group of men in their 40s who work at a desk all day versus a group of guys in their 60s who are retiring and now focused on longevity fitness? Or are you talking about avatar in terms of how they consume and use content?
Kind of a little of both.
Okay.
Right. But so I would, ideally we start where there's demand. And you could very easily just email everybody and say, would you be interested in a group coaching program or a live program or whatever, right? You could literally blast that out and say, what type of programs would you like to see more of?
Yeah.
You could also talk to some people because maybe some people make one-on-one and one-on-one may not be exciting to you, but if it's not exciting to you, the exchange isn't there. But I also assume that if you worked with a smaller group, on a regular basis and you could see improvement, that'd probably be satisfying. And if you were compensated and it was fun and it was making money, like as it should be, and you get like some high entrepreneurs in there doing that, that could be something as well.
Yeah. So two things came up. The first is, I think one reason that I shy away from putting out like a high ticket offer is because part of me just believes like, how can I provide that much value? I'm like, if for example, let's just use your number. Like if I just start offering like, hey, you can like jump on a phone with me for like $5,000 an hour, I would just make myself look like an idiot by doing that. I feel like, at least that's the resistance in my head is, I feel like I would be, way overvaluing myself there. And I don't know why anybody would do that. The second thing I was going to say is I actually started kind of the collection research process. So we got our kind of people who have purchased my more high ticket or one-on-one products in the past when I did offer those, and got them on the phone, 15 minutes, asked them preset list of questions, and got a lot of good, 80% of the responses were very similar. So like we understand that there is like, based on the people that I interviewed, there's a lot of overlap in the demands, and potentially we could, they want the same thing is basically what I'm saying. So those are your two additional considerations.
So the first answer is you're never going to out-earn your financial mindset. Mm-hmm. The first step to making $5,000 an hour is believing you're worth $5,000 an hour. Mm-hmm. Now, that may be too big of a jump, but I just threw a number out there, right? So, but the value is based on what you believe. Mm-hmm. Like then if you believe that product is worth that, then you can. And there's some work to do there with self-worth, right? The thing is, it's very easy to think that the value isn't there. Now, the client does not need to see the value as well. But it also sounds like you need to dive a little bit deeper in the value and impact of the work that you actually do. Because the work that you're doing, it may be, hey, they come to me and they get into yoga and they get healthier and physical, but like, what does that then create in their life? If somebody is out of shape and they're unhealthy, or they have a heart attack and they start doing yoga, they start getting flexibility, they get energy, they can play with their kids, their life gets better, their marriage gets better. So the work you do could have a massive impact on somebody's life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when I wake up when I'm dealing with injuries or something, and I wake up and I'm like, wow, my shoulder hurts, my back hurts. I'm like, I would probably pay $50 a day to not have back pain, or I would pay $100 a day to not have back pain. And when I compare that to, hey, you can sign up for this, you can do $30 a month and you'll have no back pain. I'm like, that's an easy sell. But when it comes to a much, like let's say $1,000 for like a 1 hour call, then I'm like, ooh, who's going to pay for that?
Well, yeah. So that's your area of growth.
Yeah.
Because there are people out there that want more of you. And if you're attracting people who if you think your value is only worth this much, those are the people you're going to attract. You're basically you're also limiting what people want to invest, because $5,000 may be nothing to some other person. So the way I kind of think of it is like, I want to be open so people can invest the value they need to transform. Because let's be serious. Like, who's going to take this session more seriously, a $5,000 session or a $50 session?
Right.
So typically the more people invest, the greater the results, because the investment is much greater.
Yeah.
So and then, there's also complementary, like, because you could go deeper into yoga offerings. You could also go wider and add in complementary products or services as well. Like the thing that you've done is you've figured out a model that works for a service-based business, that you've got all the pieces. Like literally this model you could duplicate for somebody doing a dancing class or something, right? Or jujitsu online or whatever, right? Like you could, so there's expertise in there as well. So you could go wider, add additional services to your existing audience because all of your clients are consuming other products and services as well. That's another way.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which one's more exciting to you. So actually, what's the most exciting direction to go for you?
I would love to have interactions with customers where I feel like I'm providing a lot of value, where I'm hearing about their results kind of directly, because something that I'm dealing with relatively low value product, right? It's like, even if it's monthly, you're looking at $30 a month. And so, the interactions I'm having there, some of them are like, wow, I start my morning every day, I do yoga and my body feels so much better. And, I love the way that you teach it and it's fantastic. But then there's also people who are like, I did your workout and now my back hurts. And, so like, and those are like, I'm dealing with a lot of, I'm not just dealing with the people who are excited. I'm also dealing with the people who spent $9 and now they're like, they wrote me like a 3-page email about why my program's terrible. Not that I would ever read that. That would instantly be deleted or forwarded to customer service. But yeah, like, so I think there's a lot of like personal interaction. I think it's a one-way. Most of what I do is one-way communication. There's not two-way. And when you're not doing that, when it's mostly one way, it's just, the only way that it feels fulfilling is when you're getting feedback from someone in an email, or like you're looking at sales month to month, because that's your feedback. You're not getting like, no one's like walking up to you and saying like, yeah, man, my back feels so much better than it used to. And it's great. You're like, hey, it's cool. So, that's definitely something that's missing from my day-to-day life, is actually, interacting with people who I want to interact with in like a normal two-way conversation. And then also, seeing them make progress, over a time period.
Well, that's easy to fix. Mm-hmm. You just pick up the phone and call any clients that are been members for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you? Okay, but we've been talking a lot of like specific kind of details on what this looks like. But where are we going? Like, what's the destination? Like, say, like in the next 12 months, where do you want to be?
I mean, if I could be working with, let's say, 10 to 20 people, not all, they don't have to be all at once, but if I'm working with a small group of people that I feel like I can track, that I'm not like so spread out that I'm like, oh yeah, you were that guy who had that, whatever that, and you live in Florida, right? And you're like, no, I'm from Wyoming. Like, oh, okay. So like, that would be too much. But if there's people that it's a small enough group where I'm keeping track of them, and I'm not spending too much of my time on it, like I still have time to do my other content creation, and it's doubling my income. So if like, so yeah, a couple hours a day and like doubling income, that would feel good. That would feel like, okay, because I'm not just, because a lot of the struggle with like doing one-on-one stuff in the past has been, I choose to make $200 doing this 1 hour thing, and I have spent 30 or 45 minutes wrapping it up, and then I look at the calendar, I'm like, crap, now I don't get to do any of the stuff that I also needed to do today, and all I have is like $200 to show for it. So like that's not worth my time. So if there's a way for me to, to make a significant amount of money while I'm interacting with people, does that give you more specific, or am I still like?
It's specifically non-specific.
Yeah.
Right. Because this is in the unknown, right? Like known is what you know how to do, right? Known is over the next 12 months, you're like, I could run my ads this way. I can optimize ads. I can do this. I can do partnerships, and I could probably grow X percent. That's known. Unknown is like, okay, I could do a higher tier program. I could do more events. I could do a mastermind. I could do, so there's other options there, but there's a lack of certainty there. And right now, from this point of view, you don't have any more information than you have right now. So the last thing you want to do is just sit here trying to figure out which direction to go. What you want to do right now is decide on where you're going in a non-specific way, such as in the next 12 months or in the next 6 months, whatever the time frame is, I'm going to double my income. What do you want? What do you think? 6 months, 12 months?
I mean, I think we can get this program launched within 6 months and going. Sure. In the next 6 months, double my income.
6 months. Okay. Okay. So then, say this out loud. Repeat after me. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way
to double my income. Within 6 months.
Within 6 months.
Because I'm not going
to stop until I do. Okay. Does that feel certain to you?
Very possible.
Okay. Does it feel certain? Like 100% certain? Can you feel that? Okay. Let's try this again. Repeat after me. I am going to double my income.
Within a period of 6 months. Because I'm not going to stop until I do.
Is that more certain? Okay. A lot of times when we bring time frames into the unknown targets, it creates uncertainty. And your brain, like everybody's brain, will start to calculate the progress based on a linear fashion, right? If it's how much time it is divided by so that's always running. So that's why if we say a period of 6 months versus 6 months, it leaves it a little bit open, because that period of 6 months could start a month from now. So you're still operating like it's a 6 month, but you're holding the certainty. So does that feel more certain? Do you feel 100% certain that you can not stop, right? Because the key there is I'm not going to stop until I do. Do you feel that certainty?
I don't. I should.
Don't. How certain are you from 0 to? How certain are you? So let's say this again. I'm going to find a way
to double my income. In a period of
12 months.
Because I'm not going to stop
until I do.
Yeah.
Is that more certain? Okay. So where's that from 0 to 100%?
60 to 70.
Okay. So we are working towards aligning with a new frame, right? A frame. So let's just get a sense of the doubt. Can you feel the doubt of the 40%? Okay. So repeat after me. I take ownership of this doubt.
And I release it now. I choose to believe the following. I'm going to find a way. To double my income. In 12 months. Because I'm not going to stop.
Until I do.
I choose to believe
this 100%.
Past, present, and future. All versions of me.
All versions of me. I take ownership of anything else contradictory to this.
And I release it now.
Okay, breathe. Can you feel that certainty inside you?
I'm much more of a logic person. Feeling is difficult. Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not there. So what I'm attempting to do is to coach you into a more aligned version than you've been in. Because when we talked on your podcast, we talked about action, mindset, and frame, right? And the 3 circles, right? And what actually makes the reality show up is the frame. Remember, this big circle is frame. Frame creates mindset, and mindset creates action, right? And the way our 3-dimensional brains work is they operate from the action level. And if we don't see the strategy, the brain thinks it's not possible. And the brain thinks it's not possible because it's coming from a mindset that's coming from a frame that's not in alignment with the target. And this conversation we're having right now, I am guiding you to an aligned frame that is 100% certain that you can hit that target. Now, sometimes we may need to validate the target a little bit more, and sometimes we may need to change the time frame. Now, it may actually not be the doubling your income. It may be a slightly different language. It may be number of users, something like that, right? So we're trying to do all this I'm trying to do all this on one call right here, but this is a longer process. But the point is, like, you're going into the unknown. You're going to a place you haven't done before. So all of your past thoughts and experiences won't work. They will support you once you get the general direction. Like, once you get the general direction, you can use your skills along the way to, I'll build the marketing, I'll build the communication, but you don't know the direction yet. Your intuition in your gut is telling you that there's a better direction you can go. It's telling you, and your brain's trying to figure out what it is, but you're not at the point in the journey yet where you get the answer. You're in a road, and this road, you see like 5 different roads going. One-on-one, high group client, like, you don't know. You see all these, and from this point of view, you can't see any different. So the only thing you can do is walk further down the road. That's all you can do. But the key to making this faster, because you're going into the unknown, the fastest way to uncover, to see into the unknown faster, is to hold 100% certainty that you are going to find it. I am going to find a way to grow my income or double my income. I am going to find a way. How do I know that? Because I'm not going to stop. I know that if I don't stop, I eventually will find it.
So there's
certainty there. So that's the process. That's the process I use to create certainty, because I'm trying to get you to a place of 100% certainty in this unknown, because that's the indicator of an aligned frame.
Me doing the math and figuring out these are the things that need to happen, or, oh, this is what happened in the past. It's just saying, no, I'm certain that I'm going to get there. Like, I'm going to figure it out. I don't know what that looks like now, but I'm going to figure it out. Okay.
Exactly. Yes. Has nothing, because you're not at the stage of how yet. You are at the stage of alignment. So the key right now is to hold, because it's very easy to believe it when we already see it. That's easy. What we're doing right now is we're trying to believe it before we see it. And as a human being, you get to believe whatever you want. The only thing preventing you from believing something is your past references that contradict it. And that's why we do belief changes. And that's why I use frame shifting, because it's one of the fastest ways to get past your old stuff. But at the end of the day, this is a game of belief in yourself. Because what may be coming up now is another belief next to it that says, well, I don't know if I can follow through, or I've never made that much, or whatever. Because basically the process of alignment is, I guide you to what alignment looks like. We try to get that. And if we don't, then we go after the pieces that are causing the resistance to it. Because if I asked you why, I didn't ask you, but if I had asked you why you're not feeling alignment, you would start giving me answers. And those answers are the other beliefs and mindsets from your past that are contradicting this new direction. Because we both know it's 100% possible for you to double your income, 100% possible, but you don't know how. But we do know that the version of you that has done it is a different version of you that is now. It's a higher frequency version. So the way you do that is you start walking that frequency. I am going to find it 100%. Do I know how? Haven't a clue. Does that matter? No, it's going to happen anyway. So notice how certain you're holding the certainty of that frame, and then it may be tomorrow, it may be next day, it may be next week or next month or 6 months, but at some point, the mindset of that frame is going to show up, and you're going to wake up and go, boom, I know what to do. So your only job is to hold alignment with that global frame of success, being non-specific. It could be membership, it could be one-on-one, it could be a partnership, it could be an affiliate deal. I don't know. It's something of more impact, more fulfillment, more abundance. And I'm just going to hold alignment until it shows up. But because what usually happens with most people is they're trying to think their way there from strategy. And if the strategy is not there, then you have the lack of confidence, the lack of certainty, and that affects the global frame, which puts you out of alignment.
So this is the same, very similar to what we were talking about before with the, I don't know how I can charge $5,000 an hour. So I'm assuming that the same strategies are used to get myself aligned with that frame. And what are those?
Yes.
How do I do it on a regular basis? Coaching calls, right? That's one thing.
Well,
yeah.
Well, you hire a coach. That's the easiest way. But the simple answer is learn the process of alignment. And the process of alignment is your feelings. And if you're always thinking in your head, ignoring your feelings, you're never going to know when you're in alignment. So your path in life right now is to get you more connected to your feelings. Because that's your indicators of alignment. And when you're out of alignment, then you shift into alignment through belief changes or frame shifting, or talk to a coach, and then you keep going. And then you get out of alignment again, and then you get into alignment again. It's like constantly course correcting. Right now, we don't know where you're going. Let's say you're driving to California. We don't know, but we know you can head towards California. We know that if you got in a car 100%, you could hit California. Which city? I don't know, but I can absolutely get there, right? See, it's non-specific certainty. That's that non-specific certainty is how you create faster than ever, because that's alignment. And most of us get so attached to how it actually unfolds and what the details of it look like that we get out of misalignment, when at the end of the day, what you're really after is more time, more abundance, and more connection and fulfillment. Like, that's what you're after. And it doesn't matter which of those avenues it is. So that's why we want to be fluid at the micro level, but certain at the non-specific macro.
I'm going to get there. I don't know how, but I'm going to get there.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
There you go. See? You do that and you'll start thinking differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's congruent with a lot of realizations I've had. I've been able to get to where I am doing a certain thing, doing certain things. And in order to get to the next level, I have to do things differently. Can't use what I was using before to get to the next level.
Right.
It's showing up in
there you go.
Showing up in all areas of my life right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
For a lot of us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
It was great to connect with you today, Dean.
Cool. All right.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the Do the Impossible podcast. I'm Jason Drees. To get your own experience of coaching, you can go to freeintrosession.com and my team will hook you up with a complimentary session. I will see you on the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.